Hi guys, so I'm here today to show you how to make homemade paper. The main things that you will need is mold and deckle, some paper that you want to make your paper out of, some recycled paper, a blender, and something that you can put water into to sift, but it needs to be bigger than your mold and deckle. And optional, you can have a sponge. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is shred paper so that it's small enough to go into your blender without getting your blender all stuck. So that's what I did with my book pages. Let's go to the next step. Alright, the next thing to do is go ahead and fill your blender with your paper. Just don't overstuff it. So that should be good. And then fill it up with water until it covers the paper completely. Okay. I'm gonna let that sit for a while I'm talking. So one thing to keep in mind is to use an old blender. Don't use the blender that you're going to eventually use again, because all the paper particles get left behind and that's not good for you. So make sure that you using an old blender, and as I said, make sure the pieces of papers are small, that they won't jam up your metal blender, and make sure the water is covered completely. And put a lid on, which you can see I'm missing a lid. And then start with low. So I have it on low. I'm gonna do grades. Alrighty, the next thing you want to do is fill your container up with just regular water. Just like that. Okay, and lastly, you want to go ahead and pour your pulp mixture right into that. Alrighty, after pouring it in, you just want to go ahead and mix it all together in the water. Make sure that there's no clumps or anything. And then you want to get your mold and deckle. You can have, you can select whichever kind you want. You want a small one or a bigger one, whichever one. I do have some mold and deckles on sale on my Etsy shop. So if you would like to check that out, I'll link my Etsy shop down below so you can look at it. But we'll just go ahead and line up the mold and deckle, and then you'll put it in the water, and then you just go back and forth so it can be the same consistency, and then just lift it right up. You would want it to go ahead and settle down before you start moving it. So now that's most of the water is gone, you can move it to the side to get more water out. Okay, just like that. So then you lift that up and you'll go ahead and flip your paper. And here you'll just go ahead and flip it forward. And here's an option that comes to you. You can either use a towel to get all that water off, or you can use a sponge. You want to go ahead and start lifting it up. And whenever you lift your second part of molten deckle, your paper gets left behind. So here's another option you can do. You can either leave your paper lying on a towel by having it covered, so the remaining water can get sucked up into there. And then just leave it to dry like this. Or you can use an iron and go ahead and iron it. Alrighty, so instead of waiting for the paper to dry on its own, or using a heat gun, which takes a long time, I like to use my iron. So what I like to do is put an old t-shirt that I'm no longer using, put the paper right on top of that, cover it up with the second part of the t-shirt, and then iron right on top of that. Alrighty, and then after you take the paper off the t-shirt, you're just gonna go ahead and iron over it. If the paper starts sticking to the bottom of your iron, do not continue on ironing, because that means the paper is not dry yet and you'll have to wait a little bit longer, or have to iron it more with the t-shirt on top before you can do that. Mine doesn't stick, as you can see, it glides nicely right over it. Just go over it one more time just to straighten out the paper so it doesn't fold over. Hi guys, well this is the paper that we've made. I just wanted to point out those little letters that you can see. If you don't blend your paper as to a complete liquid, you'll have those little letters flowing around. And I like the effect of it because it just adds character to the page or to the paper. So if you don't like that, just make sure you blend it all the way until you can't blend it anymore and it's almost like liquid. Then you won't have that effect. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know what you think, and let me know what kind of other videos you would like to see in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being subscribers. Thank you for watching, and thank you for giving thumbs up. Hey guys, have a wonderful day. Bye.